Hi, Dr. Paul Haider, Master Herbalist here. Well, what do you think this is? This is a powder, has a beautiful nutty smell to it, kind of a chocolatey, caroby, sweet flavor, which is beautiful. It's actually wonderful, almost like brown sugar. This is mesquite powder, or some people might call it mesquite sugar, but it's really more like a flour and can be used in amazing ways. And I call this a superfood. There's no doubt about it. It grows all over in the deserts around the world, especially in the United States, in the south, southern areas, Arizona, and also now Australia, Africa, and Asia in some areas. The mesquite trees look like a scrubby little tree, but they have these pods that hang from them with seeds in them that can be roasted and ground into this powder. And they're pretty amazing, really. And they're kind of fun to nibble on, to tell you the truth, once they get roasted. And the leaves, the sap, and the wood can also be used. And the actual tree itself can be made into decorative furniture. It's called Texas ironwood in some places, Texas. And then a lot of times they make it into, burn it for charcoal, and used it in barbecuing. You've heard of mesquite wood, mesquite briquettes and things like that. The ranchers consider it to be a kind of a pest and gets in the way of their grazing abilities, but I think of it as a wonderful antioxidant uh, baking component, which we can use. And it's kind of a substitute for sugar in a way, and also really great as a flour. And the Native Americans used it on a regular basis. The Apache, the Pima, the Yuma, the Maricopa, the Hopi, a lot of the Mojave tribes, all used mesquite as a food. And like I said, it has a nutty flavor and can be substituted as in baking and cooking as for brown sugar. And it has no little or no true fat in it, and it's basically cholesterol free, and it has a lot of great soluble fiber which helps to prevent colon disease and cancer. And it's great to build up our probiotics in our body, so we have a lot more immune system going on. Our colon is our immune system, there's no doubt about that. And we get more fiber going, we end up with a lot more immunity. And this has been proven over and over again. That's why we need to have a lot of fiber in our diet. And so, in fact, I know somebody is in the hospital right now with terrible colon disease and may have to have an operation because not eating enough fiber. And this wonderful powder, which is tasty, I love it, also has a low glycemic index, and because of that bunch of fiber, slows down the absorption of any sugars that's in there. And it usually takes 4 to 6 hours for it to break down. So you don't get any spikes of any kind. It's not going to cause an insulin rush or anything. So that is really great for diabetics because it doesn't produce spikes of any kind. It's just going to give you a long standing energy ability. And it's good for energy also because you don't end up with that high spike like with chocolate and with lots of sugar in it and then dropping like a rock, Been there, done that. So this is really good for that. And also, it may be that because of the Native American tribes didn't have that much diabetes before, regular sugar showed up and all these processed foods. So, but they were using a lot of mesquite powder, which is amazing. And it's an antifungal, and so it can help get rid of the fungal infections in your body and candida and that type of thing. It helps with migraine headaches. How many things help with migraine headaches? I'm telling you, not a whole lot. But that I think this is really a really great way to have something that's food that helps with migraines. The roots, the barks, and the leaves are all can be used. The mesquite bark and the roots make a nice tea for diarrhea. The roots also are great, make a gelatinous balm, which can be used to help with wounds and as a colonic. And also, you can make the leaves into an eye drop for sore and itchy eyes. This powder also contains a lot of omega-3 fatty acids, which are really good for the body and help with cardiovascular disease and strokes and cancer. So another way to get those omega-3s in. It contains also a lot of lysine, which is great. In plant sources, it's really not found that much, so here's another source of lysine, which is a amino acid. And also, it contains about 30% protein. Now, that's a pretty good amount. I mean, especially if you're a vegan and you're not getting enough protein, here is a source, 30% protein. Pretty amazing. You know, most plant sources only have 5 or 6%. And so that's important. Calcium for strong bones. It has potassium for water regulation and lowering blood pressure. Magnesium for enzyme production. Copper and iron for anemia. And can be used as a flour. Usually you would take about a half and half or a quarter of this and 3/4 of some other type of whole grain flour and use it together. It can be used for cakes and cookies and crackers and pancakes, breads and pie crusts, and it can be roasted, the pods, and it can be used in granola, in chili, and soups and stews. And like I said, it can be substituted. I made some organic peanut butter and oatmeal bars. They kind of look like, brownies, but with the mesquite powder in it, and they were delicious, I have to say. This is a whole grain, whole foods peanut butter and oatmeal mesquite bars. And look for that recipe. It's coming tomorrow, actually. And you can find mesquite powder on a lot of places. I found it on eBay, on Amazon, and look online. You'll find it. Some stores have it, and I bought this one. I think about $20 for 2 pounds. So a little more expensive, a lot more expensive probably than regular old flour. Of course, white flour is really not good for us, but yeah, it has a lot of great attributes to it, which is really nice. So think about that. It also can be used in coffee and tea and some beverages. And you'll have to see how you like it mixed in. It kind of has a brown sugarish type of flavor, so see how that works for you. Like I said, look for it online or ask for it at your local health food store. And as always, my consults are free. And you can, if you click on show more, you can find out how to get a hold of me. My email address and my phone number is there, and I'll be glad to help you in any way, shape, and form. And remember, a whole foods plant-based diet is really the way to go. And I've seen more people healed with a whole foods plant-based diet. In fact, I was just talking to a friend of mine who he walked into his doctor's, and then he said, you need a triple bypass. And he said, no, I don't think so. And so he went on a whole foods plant-based diet, and 30 days later, his arteries were open. And so it is a healer of many, many things. So I allow you to grasp that. We need to get away from eating animal products, because we know now that they create a trimethyl N-oxide in our digestive system, which is a inflammatory compound, which starts the cancer, starts the arthritis, starts the heart disease, and starts the kidney disease, and on and on and on. And so we have a way to break free. I'm just reading an article about a man who's a great hockey player, and he used to eat a lot of animal protein, and they do a rigorous workout, and he was inflamed all the time, and he went on the whole foods plant-based diet, and he found he's never had another day of inflammation after that. And it was like, wow. And it was a kind of an eye-opening experience for him. So if you haven't tried going on a whole foods plant-based diet, and there's a lot of myths about it, I'm not getting enough protein. No, you really will get all the protein you need. You know, I'm going to get skinny. Well, we normally will get rid of the fat. There's no doubt about that. Uh, I lost 40 pounds in 3 weeks going on the whole foods plant-based diet, but I built a lot of muscle at the same time. But we still got to work out. My dad ate a lot of meat when he was around, and he died at 57 of a heart attack. So, but he lost all his muscle mass because he didn't work out. We still got to work out. There's no doubt about that. So anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and if you care to subscribe, that's great. If you would like to make a donation, I really appreciate that. It's not necessary, but it all helps in great ways. I love you. Have a wonderful day.